Thank you all for coming tonight. I know that this is a tough thing to do, but I think it's great that we were able to come out and join together to celebrate the life and also have some communal mourning. I think it's a good way for people to come together and really remember what's important, and so I appreciate all that. So we're just going to start with a few words from John Rosser, who's our general manager. He has some stuff he would like to say, so I'm just going to pass it off.
Okay, thank you all for being here. I think it's a testament to Rico that we have the crowd that we have. I wasn't expecting this, and I think it's just awesome that so many people came out. I'd also especially like to thank members of Rico's family and church congregation who came to be with us. So it makes the event all the more special for you guys being here. So thank you. I'm not particularly good at this sort of thing, so let's see how I do. I think that coworker relationships are funny. Coworkers are not family, and coworkers are not friends, although sometimes they can become our friends. And yet, we are so dependent on our coworkers for the quality of our lives, because we interact with them as much as we do. We rely on them. We depend on them. And if anybody has worked with somebody who's mean, you know how awful that can be to have a coworker in your life that's just a mean person. And on the other hand, there's coworkers like Rico who, as best I can tell, never had an unkind thing to say about anybody. He was just that kind of person. And having people like that in your work life means so much. I have a quick story, which I don't know how well will translate because it happened relatively quickly, and it was more about what, not so much about what Rico said, but how he said it. About 6 months ago, I was up in the office here in the store, and I was angry about something stupid. I don't even know what it was. It was bad P&L numbers or something, and I'm up there mad at the world and feeling sorry for myself, and poor Rico's up there with me. And he's sort of listening, nodding his head, smiling that smile of his that I know you all know. And he's listening, and occasionally he'd have something to say, but it's mostly he's just letting me vent. And then his break, must have been on his break. He said, break time's over. Maybe he's just trying to get away from me. He said, break time's over, and he stood up, and he walked past me, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and he looked at me, and he said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. We'll get it done. And that's it. But he said it in that way that you know how he said it, I think. At least if you know him, you know how he said it. He said it in a way that immediately put me at ease. And it's hard to describe, but it's true. And it felt so good to have him do that and say that in the way that he did. Rico was 40 years old. And I thought he was going to be my colleague for a long time. And he's not. And I am so happy that my life was touched by him. And I am so sad that I didn't take the time to get to know him better than I did. So I will miss him terribly. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, John. So next we have a few folks who had wanted to say a few words, so I'll just kind of go down that list, and then we'll open it up. If anyone feels moved to speak, they can. Ms. Kyla, would you like to speak?
Psalms 23:4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. This was the first scripture that I repeated back to Rico when Rico wanted to know why this was my favorite scripture, and I told him that it was basically my grandma's scripture, and she basically would always just repeat that to me no matter what would happen or what would we go through life, or if we lost someone so close, just always repeat this, and you will feel safe no matter what, because God is always with you. Rico was just this amazing true friend. He always kept it real. And what I mean by real, he never sugarcoated anything. If you had problems or you wanted just to know his opinion, he just really wouldn't lie to you about anything. Rico gave me this nickname it was Yum Yum. I like to eat a lot, so he saw that. So he just gave me the nickname Yum Yum. My nickname to him was Country Bumpkin, because basically I never understood what he was saying because his southern accent was so thick. But the one thing about Rico was that he was never fake. Rico was always that true friend. Rico was just like my big brother. Rico gave me this intuition that I could trust him when I lost trust with other friends. He always told me to enjoy life. Threatened me if I didn't make him a peach cobbler, because that was his favorite thing that he loved for me to make. Taught me how to do meat department, basically. The last time that I seen Rico was on July 20th, and we had this silly dance competition, basically. Basically, we just love to joke, have fun. But he always taught me to just enjoy life. No matter what it is, just enjoy life, because you never know what tomorrow brings. And I'm just still saddened by this time that basically I could have gave him that hug that last time that I would have seen him, but I never would have thought that would have been my last time seeing Rico. But Rico will always be in my heart, and I'm sure he will always be in everyone's heart. Rico's life was changing drastically, and he was happy basically that he was given a second chance of life. He was happy that he joined the church, that he was going to play the drums for the church choir, that he was basically going to be on his first plane ride to Minneapolis or Minnesota, wherever he was going. But he was just excited. He was just full of life because his past was forgiven by God. God was giving him another chance at life. And he was so happy. If you could just see the joy and the smile on his face, he was tremendously happy. And I'm sure to this day he would have been still happy. But Rico was always that guy, that man that you could just go to and just talk to. But Rico will forever be in my heart. And I love him not only as a friend, but as a brother. And I'm sad to this day that I have lost a brother. But I just will love him forever. No matter how many years, days go by, I will always remember and love Rico to this day.
Thanks, Kyla. That was really beautiful. Maureen, would you like to say some words? Do we have a candle accident?
Almost. You almost got
Almost.
Okay, but that's okay.
Crisis averted. All right.
Hi, I'm Maureen. I was a colleague of Rico's. I would work on Wednesday and go to the meat department and get the transfers for the week. And when I first met Rico, I said, "Oh, Rico means delicious." And, you know, a woman saying that to a man might be a little risky, but he didn't take it, he didn't do anything about it. You know, it didn't get weird at all. And it just, you know, started a friendship. It was a, you know, once a week friendship, but we went to an earth bread party and had a really good time. So I'm glad we had that. We spent a couple hours together really having fun. When my mom passed away last May, I didn't tell Rico about it that first week, and he found out, I guess I told him about 3 weeks after that, and he said, "Why didn't you tell me?" And he was really, I could tell he was really heartbroken for me, and I just felt like he would have loved to have been able to comfort me in those weeks. And he just was a really caring person who greeted me with a big smile and a hug every time I saw him. And I guess I met him 2 years ago, and he was 38 and I was 58, and I called him 38. All the time. I always called him 38. He was a dear man, and my love goes out to his family and his church family and all of his colleagues. We'll miss him.
Oh, thank you, Buddy. Were you saying something?
I know that's right.
Thanks, Marie. Rosemary, I'm not sure. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, you look so lovely.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rosemary. I work in the deli, and I had many associations with Rico. When I first met Rico, he told me that his full name was Enrico, and I said, "Oh, you share the name of one of the greatest Italian tenors of all time, Enrico Caruso," and that absolutely delighted him. Rico and I shared a number of interests. Food was one of them. Many times when I would buy the wonderful meat that he prepared in our department and made Italian meatballs and gravy and pasta, I would bring some to the guys in the department. And Rico was always very delighted with it and wanted to know how I made it, etc., etc. And I said, "Oh, it's different every time." Another interest that we shared was music. Rico played the drums in his church. I played the organ in various churches. And we would often talk about that. Rico and I were very excited about traveling together to Minnesota. It would have been our first conference for both of us, and it just wasn't meant to be. Music is my first language. My mother tells me I sang before I talked. And I'd like to offer a musical offering for Rico.